The date was October 21st, 2017. It was the first time we ever staged a handicap event on Prodigy. An all-star lineup of Prodigy regulars made the stepladder. In the opening match, America's favorite 9-year-old, Hunter Moffitt, dispatched Christian Minell 220 to 183.
He just got beat by a 9-year-old.
Setting up a clash in match 2 between Hunter and his bowling idol, Charles Bostic. As the match came down to the 10th frame, just one pin separated the two players.
And now it's just who can make the shots. Oh, that's a little wide. And he leaves the 2. So with a strike, Charlie will finish with 203. It's going to be a nail biter. Ten pin stops him. So a 202 to finish. And that means Hunter is going to need to fill 18 to win by a pin. Now he's working on a spare, so he's got to watch his count. Oh, there's 9 on the first ball. So he must make this and fill 9 more on the extra ball. Got to have this one. All right, he's got the spare. And now it's down to the very last ball. Hunter needs 9 to win. 9 or a strike. 8's a tie. 7's a loser. And he did it! The upset of the century as Hunter sneaks by Charlie and will move on to the semifinal to face Nolan next.
Hunter would go on to defeat Bolin Nolan-Kemp in the semifinal, beginning an improbable string that would last through the duration of our time in Georgia, as Hunter never lost to Nolan. Then, in a championship match that could only be described as a colossal David and Goliath pairing, Hunter Moffitt completed his improbable run of the stepladder to claim his most cherished of many Prodigy titles.
This is just the best thing ever.
Now in its 10th season, it's Prodigy Bowlers Tour, celebrating junior bowling and elevating junior bowlers. Today, episode 200, the 2025 Kansas City Open November Point Tournament. 5 players have advanced to the TV finals, but only one can leave as the Division I champion. Here are our 5 finalists. In the first match, the number 5 qualifier, Eli Clinklin, will meet the 4th qualifier, Dylan Pollard, the Dill Pickle. The winner of that match will challenge the number 3 qualifier, Tanner Haig, who bowled a 297 today. That winner will bowl the 2 seed, Caleb Conroe of Lee Summit, Missouri. And that winner will bowl for the title against Pedro Diaz Gonzalez of Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. He's our tournament leader. One of these 5 talented young athletes will claim the title in Division I and will put their name on the coveted trophy pin. Today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. We welcome you back to Lawrence, Kansas and Royal Crest Lanes for the 2025 Kansas City Open November Point Tournament. On our last episode, we brought you the finals in Division II. Today, we're featuring the main event, the championship stepladder finals in Division I, the group of bowlers with averages of 200 and higher. Today we have a mixture of familiar faces and one first-timer on Prodigy who's attending college in the area but still meets the eligibility requirements to be a youth bowler, at least for this one last season. And that's Pedro Diaz Gonzalez, who's presently residing in Baldwin City, Kansas, while attending college, but hails from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. And while that doesn't make him the player who's traveled the farthest to bowl on Prodigy, he's certainly on the short list. As always in these KCO point tournaments, the contestants bowled 6 games of qualifying, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. And here's how qualifying shook out in Division 1. Of course, you already know who made it into the championship round by qualifying in one of the top 5 positions. There you see in 6th place is our alternate today, Cooper Farmer. He led after the morning block. There's the other Haig brother, Tyler. He shot 300 today to best his brother's 297. Rhett Ryman in 9th. You see Nicholas Sharp in 11th. He finally got rated up to Division 1. There in 16th is Mr. 296, Andrew Lindsay. And Mr. 298, Eli Nathan in 18th. He's drilling balls over at Bolero Overland Park these days. Micah Page in 19th. Landon Stoddard, our winner in Gladstone, finished 20th, and the rest of our Division I field. Here's how the stepladder shapes up with 2 of our 3 Lee Summit bowlers squaring off in the opening match, 5-seed Eli Clinklin and 4-seed Dylan Pollard. The winner advances as long as he keeps winning, while our tournament leader is with the others down on the practice pair, waiting to see who he'll face when we get to his match. But right now, it's time to get this party started. And as I mentioned, we'll begin here with 2 bowlers who are quite familiar with one another. They both bowl league over at Summit Lanes, where we'll be to cover the KCO April Point Tournament in a few months. And Dylan Pollard, the youngest of our 5 finalists on the show today, at 15 years of age. He was the higher qualifier of these 2. And he has opted to let Eli start the match. So Eli will throw the opening ball on the left lane. And it breaks high. Goes through the nose, and he leaves the 6-10. Eli Clinklin, the reigning champion of the Prodigy TOC. He won it this past June. And then he started the new KCO season with a win in September. And he starts this match with a spare. And now we get our first look at Dylan Pollard, the dill pickle. His favorite pro bowler, Jason Belmonte. This kid has 4 300 games and an 802 to his credit. And he can throw a lot of shots like that. Shrapnel flying everywhere. Watch this one. The ball will hit the half pocket. Doesn't quite get high flush, just kind of half pocket. But everything moves over to the left side of the lane, takes out the 7. And that's a powerful strike to begin. They're all even through 1. And that one comes up just a pinch high. And he leaves the 4-pin. Dylan with a whole slew of titles to his credit. He won the JBC. He's got a KCO on his resume. 3 HOAs. That's the Heart of America Youth Classic. A couple of Pepsis and a high school tournament. And he's got a spare in the second frame.
The bowlers to our right, that's Noah Frex you see over there. The bowlers to our right, that's Division III. And we will recap how their stepladder played out when we get to the end of the show. Eli found the pocket that time. One thing we have learned about Eli Clinklin is once he gets lined up on a pair, he's liable to keep that pair. In other words, he doesn't lose his look very easily. Swings that thing way out to the right and brings it back, and that was a beautiful strike. This young fellow in his final year of eligibility as a youth bowler. He turns 18 in March. Oh, man. There was that half pocket again, but instead of getting all the action over on the 7-pin, he almost left the pocket 7-10. The 10 got tipped out late. Watch it. Watch the 6-pin, the second one from the right. I think it's going to lean into the 10 and just nudge it out. And he thanks his lucky stars. He got a good break. Eli goes with a plastic ball for his spare ball so it doesn't hook much. Goes straight at it. And a spare strike spare beginning for Eli Clinklin. Right on pace with Dylan Pollard. Dylan wrote on his player information sheet that he wants to become an evangelist, you know, a preacher when he grows up. I don't remember seeing that on his bio sheet before. He also writes that he loves to play golf, and I'll tell you this much. From my experience on the links, you spend much time on the golf course, you'll learn some words that won't come in very handy from the pulpit. He comes in a little thin on that shot, leaves the 2-pin. Both of these players among those that we had pegged as likely to step up this season and become among those first-tier players, and they haven't disappointed. Dylan finished 12th at both KCOs in October and September, and here he is in the stepladder this month. Eli, after winning the Prodigy TOC back in June, started this season with a win. He actually qualified 5th in September when we were in Olathe, and he ran the stepladder and won. And then last month in Gladstone, he was 6th, just missing out on the stepladder finals. Oh my. Well, this time Dylan breaks up the 6-7-10, but now he's left with the 7-10. But looky here, he's made it before. This is how he made it over at Summit Lanes one day. Just throw hard at one of them and hope a miracle happens. That's how it's done. And boy, would he love for history to repeat itself here. Well, he got the throw it hard part right. But you got to get one if you want to get two. So it's an open frame in the 4th for Dylan. And that puts Eli in control, leading by 15 now. But Eli comes up a little thin. Leaves the 2-pin. Easy spare. shouldn't have any problem with this. And he goes straight at it, takes care of the 2-pin. Well, I always ask our players on our little player information questionnaire, who's your favorite pro bowler? Eli wrote down Caden White, the reigning Prodigy Player of the Year, who of course aged out this summer and is now off at college. But Caden actually won his first PBA tournament that he entered. He went down to St. Louis for a PBA regional and took home the title. Oh! Eli gets the 4-9 to collapse. I don't know if that's just good karma or if he's living right or what, but over the 4th arrow, swings it out to about 6. Looked a little high to me, but the 4-9 go out late. He'll take it. Well, another light hit. This time he leaves the 2 and company. The 2-4-8. Here's how you make it. You got to put the ball on the 2, pretty flush on the 2, but favor the right side of the 2-pin by a little. And the 2 should get the 4 and the 8. And if it doesn't, the ball should drive through and get the 8. The main thing is don't hook past the center of the front pin, or you're liable to send the 2 off to the right and it'll miss the 8. That's how you do it, right there. So Dylan recovers from his open frame with a spare, but he would love to get a little string of strikes going and put some pressure on Eli. Well, when asked how he got started bowling, Dylan said his dad wanted to go bowling one day. Well, he said, I was playing Fortnite, but I guess at some point he must have looked up and said, hey, wait a minute, this looks like fun. And it turned out he had kind of a knack for it. Can't get the 10-pin to go this time, though, so he will move left on the approach and go cross lane at the 10. Look out. Well, that's just a mental error there. But 2 opens in 3 frames, and suddenly Eli Clinklin is nursing a 26-pin lead and working on a strike so he can extend that lead to 36 with another one here in the 6th frame and begin to take real control of this match. But instead, he sends it a little too wide. And this time it doesn't quite get back, and he's left with the 2-4-10 split. Here's how you make it. Put the ball over on the left side of the 2-pin. Throw that 2-pin over into the 10. The ball will get the 4. Eli has a backup ball in his bag of tricks. He'll probably use that. Yep. Pretty good try. That's one of those things that Caden White got started with those guys over in Lee Summit. A bunch of them use a backup ball to shoot it. Splits like the 2-8-10. Certainly shooting at the 10 pin. It almost worked that time. But an open frame, and this match is back to just 14 pins separating the two players. Oh, and that ball was high, but he trips the 4. And another good break for Eli. Watch it again. This time you're going to want to pay attention to the 2 pin. The third one from the left. He will hit high on the nose, but the 2 pin will go to the left wall and slip between the 4 and 7 and gets them both. All right, Dylan. There you go. That's what he's looking for. Well, Dylan says his biggest thrill in bowling is when he made the 710 that time. You saw that earlier. And when he won state with his team. Caden White was on that team. As a matter of fact, the whole team, they dyed their hair blonde. And Dylan's hair is still showing remnants of that. Oh, he felt like he pulled it, and I think he did, but it set in the oil, and he almost left the stone 9. But the 9 went out very late. Watch this. We'll see his footwork. 5-step approach. Little drift to the left. Nice slide over about the 4th arrow out to about 13. The 9 was last to go. But that double tightens the match. Now just 4 pins apart, these two. And now Eli says, enough of that. We'll just put that back at 14 as he picks up a double here in the 8th. Both of these guys very capable of stringing strikes. They both have multiple 300s to their credit. Dylan with 4 of them. Eli has thrown 5 300s. Dylan with an 802 series. Eli's high series, 812. That's some bowling when you can get into the 8s. But this time the ball just will not recover. And he leaves the 2. And that will leave the door open for Dylan to slip through and win this match. There's a spare for Eli. Now, if he strikes out in the 10th, he'll shoot 206. Dylan can strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th and be in the 2 teens. So that's what he's got to be thinking right now. Strike here, and then the first 2 strikes in the 10th, and he'll shut out Eli. That's how important that foundation 9th frame was for Eli Clinklin. But Dylan's ball doesn't make it back. And he leaves a shaker 8. And the match remains at 14 pins. He shouldn't have any problem with this. All right, well, here's the situation. Dylan can strike out for 192. Eli goes strike spare for 196. So Dylan needs to double here and hope that Eli runs into some trouble. Oh, that's not what Dylan was looking for. A 4-9. So now the best he can hope for is 180, and he's not going to get it. 169. Well, Eli just needs a couple of pins. And, of course, stay behind the foul line. But you have to figure this is just a formality here. Chalk it up. Boom. With that ball, Eli Clanklin claims victory in match 1. Five-step approach over about the 4th arrow. Swings it out to about 6. And he planted that one right in the pocket. Possible 206 with 2 more strikes here in the 10th. How about it? He looks so relaxed out there. You just never find him looking hurried or stressed. I haven't really spent enough time around Eli to know his personality all that well, but he seems like a pretty laid-back kid to me. So he's showing his personality on the lanes. 3 strikes in the 10th. Chalk it up as a 206 to 169 victory. Eli over Dylan Pollard, and Eli Clanklin will move on to match 2. His next opponent, Tanner Haig. To keep up with all things Prodigy year-round, join the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Facebook group. It's absolutely free, and you'll get behind-the-scenes info about the show and some of the players you see bowling on it. Plus, you'll get the occasional sneak peek at what's coming on future episodes, and you'll stay informed about where the next episode stands in the creation process. From any page on Facebook, type the words Prodigy Bowlers Tour into the search bar and hit enter. That'll take you to the page where you can submit a request to join the Prodigy Facebook group. You'll be presented with 3 simple screening questions. Be sure to answer them. If you don't, we'll assume the request to join the group is coming from a spam bot, and you'll be denied access. Nobody wants spam bots in the group. So just follow the simple directions and answer the 3 screening questions, and we'll see you on Facebook. Well, the final score of that opening match doesn't really tell the story of how the outcome could have swung in either player's favor. When Dylan got up in the 9th frame, he had ball in hand with a chance to strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th to shut out Eli. Then, failing that, he still could have doubled in the 10th and forced Eli to fill 17 in the 10th to win. But a 4-9 dashed his hopes,
and sent Eli Klinkland into match 2, where he'll now face Tanner Hague. Now, I don't want to jinx Tanner, but in his only 2 times appearing on Prodigy in a singles competition, Tanner has had a 300 thrown at him and a 298. It's safe to say he's hoping for a little better luck this time. Tanner bowled a 297 in qualifying today, and his brother Tyler threw a 300 game. But he didn't quite make the stepladder, so it's up to Tanner to carry the Hague family flag into battle today. I look for this to be a good match. Tanner just turned 18 a couple of weeks before this episode of Prodigy was taped. Look at this. Playing a little deeper inside left than the other players we've seen thus far. Watch where he's throwing this. That's about the 5th arrow. Only swings it out to about 12 or 13. And that was high flush. Well, Eli is playing a full arrow farther to the right. And honestly, getting somewhat inconsistent reaction. Here's the 258. You got to be careful that you don't chop the 2 off the 5. Put that ball right there, and you'll be in high cotton. And he got it. Well, Eli says he wants to be either a pro bowler or a mechanical engineer. He has time to decide. We don't need to be reaching any final judgments on that today. I suspect how he bowls might play into his decision. Man, he got that one to snap hard on the back end, and it just plowed through the pins. No deflection. Gave it a little extra juice and a little extra loft to delay the hook. Here's his footwork. Little drift to the left. Nice slide over about 19 at the arrow. Swings it out to 6 and sweeps him off the deck. Tanner. That time he was a little closer to the 4th arrow than the 5th, so I don't know if that was a miss or if he is playing these 2 lanes that differently. You can see where the ball passes the arrows. That was about 22. Can't quite make out where it was at the break point, but sure like the way it finished. 10 in the pit. Yeah, he's a little farther left on the left lane, it looks like. 3 in a row to start. He's got to like that. I know Tanner would be happy if he could just get through this match without having a 290 or 300 thrown at him. Boom. Solid hit there for Eli. He just lays it down so smooth. Over about 19 at the arrows that time. But, boy, Can't hit him any more solid than that. He can even the match with a strike here. Oh, but instead it sails wide on him, never recovers, and now he's left with what I call the naked washout. Just the 110. Usually when we see the washout, we see it with the 2 and the 4 or the 2 and the 8. But just the 110. Oh, and he's just a little wide of it. So there's an open frame. So Tanner, you're not going to have a 290 thrown at you this match. So he can breathe easy. Comes in thin, shakes him up. And he is perfect through the first 4 frames. This young fellow started bowling when he was 11. His high game was that 297 that he bowled today in qualifying. His high series an 822. Now, he shot that 297 today. His brother, Tyler, shot 300. These two brothers seem to do everything together. And in fact, Tanner says his best moment in bowling was watching his brother win a youth scratch masters. Oh, he chops the 3 off the 6. That'll tighten this match. Now Eli's going to want to get a little string of strikes started so that he can tighten the match even further. It's coming off an open. Oh, he gave that one a little extra loft, trying to delay the hook. It did. But sometimes when you loft the ball, you also catch it on the upswing with your fingers, which gives it a little more juice. And I think that's why that ball hooked sharply on the back end and cut the 5 right past the 9 for a stone 9. Easy spare, though. But the difference between them remains 22 pins. Halfway through the match. Eli taking his time. He's a pretty deliberate player, but once he's ready to go, he's going. Oh, he crosses over this time and gets the 3 to come out of the gutter and trip the 6. Watch it. Watch the 3. The third one from the right goes into the gutter off the wall and slaps out actually the 6 and the 10. Oh! Now that's a messenger. Nearly had the pocket 710. We've seen one of those today. Watch this. Here comes the head pin off the left wall. It actually missed the 10 pin, went into the gutter, bounced off the right wall, and tipped out the 10. Thank you very much. So now Tanner Hague with a 22-pin lead. Both he and Eli working on strikes in the 6th. Tanner can extend the lead with a strike here. But he crosses over once again, this time no dice on the tripped 6. So he'll go cross lane at the single pin spare. This should be pretty routine for him. And there you go. But now Eli, with a strike up, has a chance to make his move. He can cut the lead to 12 with a strike here in the 7th. Oh man, another near pocket 7-10. This time the 7 goes out and he's left with the 10 pin. Why are we seeing so many near pocket 7-10s? Well, when they're standing that far to the left and throwing it that far to the right, the ball covers a lot of boards and it has plenty of time on the lane to expend its energy. And when it hits the pocket, a little too much of that energy is used up and it struggles to carry out the corners. A more direct line, you probably wouldn't leave as many pocket 7-10s or threaten to. But this is the way the lanes are demanding that the players play them. There you go. I think Eli's got the right idea with the loft. He delays the hook. That stores the energy for down lane so it doesn't get used up so soon. This is a really well executed shot here. And that's 10 in the pit. All right, Tanner. Comes in thin. Didn't quite get the shaker to shake them all out. Leaves the 4. Well, I tell you what, we've got a couple of brainiacs up here. Eli says he might become a mechanical engineer when he grows up. Tanner says he takes Calc 3, that's Calculus 3, as a senior in high school. Well, I tell you, that is a foreign language to me, calculus. I have a hard enough time just balancing my checkbook. I always say if my checkbook gets too far out of balance, I just change banks. All right, the 2, 4, 5. Tanner a little light with that hit. Got to be careful with this one. Don't want to be chopping the 2 off the 5. Oh, like that. And that's why I always recommend playing that one pretty straight down the left side of the lane. When you throw it out to the right, the ball approaches the spare from the right side. That opens up the gap between the 2 and the 5, and you're just inviting a chop. And now Eli, trailing by 7, can take the lead with a strike here in the 9th, and then another strike in the 10th, and he can shut out Tanner. There's one. The best Tanner can do is 211. Eli's going to need one more strike to shut him out.
Over the fourth arrow, out to about 7 this time. That was half pocket business there. But he got the head pin to come off the wall and chop out the 4. But here's the one that he really needs right here. This would put the match away, just about. But no. An 8 count. So now he leads by just 1. And the door is open for Tanner Haig. Eli's going to need to make this and strike to force Tanner to double. All right, he gets the first part of that job done with the conversion of the spare. With a strike on his fill, Eli will finish with 202. That would mean that Tanner will need 2 strikes and 2 pins to win the match in regulation. That strike is big. Had he gotten 9, Tanner could have gone strike spare or spare strike in the 10th to send this thing to extra frames. But as it is, Tanner is going to need a double. Boy, that was creeping a little high, but he stuffed him back. And now Tanner must strike on this ball or he loses. Boom. And now he needs 1 more just like it. If he doesn't strike, the best he can do is 201, and that won't do. That was perfect. But now he must strike on this ball or Eli is moving on. Oh, man, like a dagger through the heart. A stone 8. And what a way to lose. Well, he threw a winning ball. The pins just didn't cooperate. So it's going to be Eli Clanklin who takes match 2 today on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. And Tanner Haig bowled his heart out. But Eli is moving on to match 3. His next opponent, Caleb Conroe, another Lee Summit bowler, when we return. In 2016, when Prodigy Bowlers Tour was first launched, the kids on the show were just bowling for bragging rights. But a viewer of the show, Amanda Mayer, left a comment on one of the videos saying if there were an actual prize they were bowling for, you might get more kids to enter. And with that, the coveted trophy pin was born. On each show, the winner would sign the coveted trophy pin, and that tradition has continued until today. At the end of each season, we hold the Prodigy Bowlers Tour Tournament of Champions, or Prodigy TOC for short, and the winner claims the pin as their own. Early on in the show's history, some of our winners opted to give the pin away, but in recent years, the victors have figured if the coveted trophy pin is all that coveted, then why wouldn't I want to keep it? I wouldn't argue with them, and so they have kept it. There were a couple of years in there during the pandemic where we didn't award a coveted trophy pin. But here's the list of winners through the years. Charles Bostic in 2017. Peyton Smith in 2018.
Nick Dissinger in 2019. Production of the show was suspended in 2020 due to the pandemic, so the 2019-2020 coveted trophy pin was orphaned mid-season. But just before I moved back to Kansas City from Atlanta in late 2021, we gave that final Atlanta coveted trophy pin to the winner of the Farewell Atlanta episode of the show, and that pin went to Hunter Moffitt. In 2022, we shot and released our first Kansas City-based episode, the 2022 KCO Invitational, but there was no coveted trophy pin. Then, in the fall of 2022, when we started covering the KCO each month, a new coveted trophy pin was put in play, and in 2023, it was won by P.J. Dokalis. In 2024, Rhett Ryman was the first to break tradition and keep the coveted trophy pin when he won it. And in 2025, Eli Clinklin claimed the Prodigy TOC title, and along with it, the coveted trophy pin. Once again this season, all the winners at all the KCO tournaments throughout the current season are qualified to bowl in the 2026 Prodigy TOC, where the current coveted trophy pin will be claimed by the next Prodigy TOC winner. You know, I've always felt like the most entertaining and memorable matches on Prodigy are the ones that come down to the final balls thrown. And that last match was no exception. Honestly, it looked like Tanner was destined to win, since he got off to a hot start and then led most of the way. But when he chopped the 2-4-5 in the 9th frame for an open, Eli slipped through the opening to take the lead. But he still couldn't finish Tanner off. Tanner still had a chance to win at the end. He needed 2 strikes and threw 2 quality shots in the 10th. The first netted a strike, but just when he needed one more, an apparent good hit left everyone stunned when he left a stone 8, giving a very relieved Eli Clinklin a pass into match 3, where he'll now face our number 2 qualifier and another Lee Summit player, Caleb Conroe. Caleb has won once on Prodigy, but it was an adult youth doubles event. Today, he has a chance to win one on his own. But the first person standing in his way is our reigning Prodigy TOC champion, who's coming off 2 wins in today's stepladder, Eli Clinklin. Strap in, the intensity is only gonna get higher. Oh, man, that looked like a pretty good ball. Seemed to hook real hard on the back end, and it just crowded the head pin enough. Watch the 2 pin. Third one from the left. It's going to go to the left wall and turns around right in front of the 7 pin and just misses it. Easy spare, though. He goes straight at it and makes short work of it. All right, now Caleb Conroe, another one of these players that has multiple 300s. He's got 4 of them. He has an 813 to his credit. But get a load of this. He's only been bowling like 3.5, 4 years. Started bowling when he was 13, first league at 14. He's 16 now. Now he's almost 17. He'll be 17 about a week or so after this show drops. Sends that one a little too wide, and it labored to get back. So he leaves the 7 pin.
Crest bowling.
Now, the first time he was on Prodigy, he scared the bejeebers out of me, shooting these
left side corner pins because he hooks it at him. He straightened that one out. You don't need to be raising Coach Randy's blood pressure while we're watching these kids shoot corner pins. I tell you, this kid has really developed into quite a fine young bowler. He always seems to be in the mix. He finished 14th in Gladstone last month, 7th in Olathe in September. And here he is today. Look at that. With that entry angle, the pins almost have to go down. Watch where this ball comes from as it approaches the 1-2 pocket. Playing about 13 at the arrows. I can't quite make out where the ball is at the break point, but it's outside of 5, pretty late down the lane. Eli once again with the big loft. This time it delays the hook a little too much, and the ball finishes behind the head pin. And here's how you make the 2-8-10. It's almost impossible, but we've seen it done a time or two. Never on Prodigy, though. But Eli has an advantage. He has that backup ball in his bag of tricks. He can hook at the 2 and 8 from the left side. Oh, and he came close to making it. That's how you do it. He doesn't have to use the right wall when he hooks at it in that way. Most right-handers would be throwing a right to left hook at it, and they have to use the right wall to make the 2-8-10. But Eli can just go at it like a left-hander would. But it didn't work this time, and it's an open frame, so a 14-pin advantage for Caleb just 2 frames into the match. And once again, he gives it the loft, but this time it overhooks. And that can be frustrating for a player. You think you've got the answer to the lanes. You try it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And he chops the 3 off the 6, and as you can plainly see, Eli is not a happy camper. Back-to-back opens. And now Caleb, with a strike up, can take command of this match early. How about that one? I don't think he loved it when it left his hand. He was gesturing, get up, get up. But it sure did. Here's a look at Caleb's footwork. 5-step approach, little drift to the right. Over the 3rd arrow out to about 5 or 6 at the break point, and down they go. And now his lead is 35. Make that 45. Wow. He looks like he's in dead stroke. Watch this. Comes right up the back of the ball. Open hand release. And that ball just tears through the pins. Wow. Eli, I think you've got your hands full this match, buddy. Pretty good shot. Just a pinch too high.
He'll go cross lane at the 4-pin. And I'm sure he'll make short work of it. Easy peasy. Well, Eli says his favorite moment in bowling is when he bowled his first 300, his first of 5. I don't know how old he was when he bowled that, but he started bowling at the age of 8. His first league, he was 10, and he's 17 now. Oh boy, another high hit. And now all of a sudden the lanes are just playing him. He thought he had a good look, and now he seems to have lost it. And to make matters worse, his ball isn't coming back. So while we wait for Eli's bowling ball to return, I will tell you that our next stop on Prodigy Bowlers Tour is Olathe, Kansas, where we will be the first Saturday and Sunday of December for the 2025 KCO December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. We will cover Division 4 and Division 1. Last year, the Division 4 winner was Johnny Futrell and his dad, Jay. And over in Division 1, Logan Glinka and his adult brother, Dylan, won the championship in Division 1. They can't bowl this year because Logan has aged out. But the team they beat, Rhett Ryman and Wes Edwards, are expected to be bowling in it again, and they won the tournament in 2022. Oh, Eli almost chopped it again. And I tell you what, he's doing exactly the right thing. He's playing it from the far left side of the lane, throwing it straight. But in bowling, there is no surefire way to avoid catastrophe. But he did make the spare this time. Meanwhile, Caleb has a turkey up and leads by 47 pins. Now he leads by 57. Boy, I tell you what, if you're Eli Klinklin, this is just a helpless feeling, knowing that you've lost your look, you've lost your line to the pocket, and your opponent appears to be in dead stroke, piling on an avalanche of strikes. Or so it seems anyway. Is he going to make it a 67-pin lead here with another strike? That would be rude. It's pretty rude. Tell you what, though, it's fun to see a player in dead stroke. And Caleb has got it all going on. Crunch berries. Well, Eli, all you can really do is just finish it out. Well, almost another pocket 7-10. The 7 went out. Eli slapping his hands like that's going to help. I don't know. It might make him feel a little better, but I think right now he's just burning up. If it's not going to be his day, I think he'd just like to get this over with. Tell you what, there's no quit in this guy, though.
Got to hand it to these kids, even when the match is out of reach or getting there. You just don't see very many of them give up. I know Eli will give it his best effort right to the very last ball. Well, he tried to give it a little more loft this time, and all it did was delay the hook further. And he leaves the super washout, the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Two schools of thought. You can put the ball on the left side of the 1, try to throw it into the 6, 10, or throw it from the left side of the lane straight and try to deflect the ball from the 1 into the 6. I think that's the way he's going to go. But he misses the head pin. And that's no good. And I think Eli is ready to send Dad out to the car. Go warm up the engine. They got a long drive to Lee's Summit. Now the players to our right on the next pair over. That's Division III. Once again, you see Noah Frex. He's been bowling for a while. I guess he must have won a couple of matches. Anyway, we'll recap their step ladder when we get to the end of the show. There's another one by Caleb. All he does is strike. Tell you what, bowling is a whole lot of fun when you got it going on like this. Take a look at 3 of his shots this match. In the 3rd, 5th, and 7th frames, you'll see just how locked in he is. Every shot looks the same. And now we'll stack them on top of each other for our exclusive Prodigy Bowlers Tour 3 Deep look. And you'll really see how similar they are. Not much difference until the final step. But that's what happens when you're in dead stroke. Whoops. If that 7-pin would have gone down, I think we might have had to throw a penalty flag. Take another look at it. Watch his reaction. He knows it's through the nose. And then the 2 gets tripped. It falls into the 4, and the 7 doesn't quite go, but you know, can't carry them all. I will never say a 7-pin is a gimme for Caleb, not after I watched him shoot at him his first time on the show. But that's all he's left so far this match, and he's made them both, so. All right, Eli, you've still got 3 frames. Oh, my. Well, that one just doesn't come back. It's feast or famine on this pair of lanes, it seems. Either it overhooks, goes through the nose, or it doesn't quite make it back. And he chops the 2 off the 5. Well, when it rains, it pours. Might as well get all this out of your system in one game. Caleb already has this match won. So Eli's just going through the motions, but I know he's trying. Look at this. Spare ball right up the 2nd arrow. Doesn't quite get there, but he's going to try whatever he thinks might work. Might as well. I remember bowling in a tournament once. I went to my spare ball the last game, shot pretty good, like 220. Not that it would help by that time, but I was like, why didn't I try that earlier? Well, of course. That's what happens when you're having a game like this. But Eli just wants to go home. And I don't blame him. All right, Caleb. You've made your point. Wow. Well, you talk about a player who has the hot hand. Caleb Conroe is that player. Watch this. Over the third arrow, out to about 6. And that 4-pin chops out the 7. He has a possible 269. That'll win a few matches. Any questions? Bowling doesn't get any more fun than it is for Caleb Conroe right now. This strike would put him in the 260s. No, he knew he threw it high, but he trips them all out. He knows he got away with murder on that one, but it's not like the outcome of the match was riding on his carry on that ball. And now he can just throw one more and try to finish off a 269. Not bad. Although for Eli, he'll have the indignity of knowing that he got centuried this game, getting beat by 100 or more. Ouch. There you go. Look at that. The 7-9 were kind of late in going out. I don't know how he could possibly have left a 7-9 on that ball, but he didn't, so it doesn't matter. All right, Eli. Finish it off in style. Wash some of this bad taste out of your mouth. There you go. There's a good one. Well, like I said, I mean, these kids, even when the match is out of hand, they know they're beat. You watch, most of the time they'll still be trying on every ball. You got to respect that. Boom. Now Eli's got to be thinking, all right, well, where was this during the match? Watch it again as you see Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez stepping into the picture, getting ready for the next match. Good look at a solid ball. Big loft. Big strike. And he finishes with a turkey. The only 3 strikes he got all match. Might make him feel a little bit better. Maybe. Or not. Anyway, it's Caleb Conroe who'll be bowling for the title against Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez. You know, there are lots of ways to support Prodigy Bowlers Tour. One way is to tell your friends about it and even send a link to the show to friends who may not have seen it before. But if you want to go one step further
and show a little financial support for all the work that goes into creating these episodes of the show, and each episode takes about 40 hours to edit. Become a Prodigy patron. For just $5 a month, you get early access to each full-length episode of the show, at least a day or two before the episode goes public. And for just $10 a month, you not only get early access to each episode, but you also join the elite supporters of the show by getting your name in the show's closing credits as an executive producer. To become a Prodigy patron, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and follow the directions to become a patron. It's like throwing a little change into the guitar case of someone who's playing guitar on the street. Just a small way to show your appreciation for the work that goes into creating the art that you then get to enjoy. And you'll receive my undying gratitude for your kindness. Once again, go to www.patreon.com/Prodigy Bowlers Tour and become a Prodigy patron. As much as I don't really care for seeing any of our players get totally shellacked the way Eli was in that match, it is fun to see a player in dead stroke the way Caleb was. Eli had a good run today, winning 2 matches to finish third to go along with his win in September. So as disappointed as he might be over how he bowled in match 3, he can't exactly call the day a total loss. Caleb just came out red hot and never gave Eli much of a chance. But now Caleb Conroe has a bigger challenge ahead. Sometimes one of the hardest things to do in bowling is to follow up a really big game with another one. And the way Caleb's opponent, Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez, has been bowling today, Caleb's got to figure he's going to need another big game to come away the winner. This is Pedro's first appearance on Prodigy Bowlers Tour, so we don't really know what to expect. But we do know he is tournament tested and has won some big, prestigious events, including the 2025 Pan Am Championships and a few years ago, a Storm Youth Championship tournament in Orlando, just to name a couple. So Pedro knows how to win. And Caleb has a handful of wins to his credit, but both players are looking for their first singles title at the KCO. I look for both of these players to bring their A games to this contest. And honestly, you kind of get the feeling that Caleb may need his A game just to stay with Pedro. Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez, a very accomplished player. Very impressive. Boom! Caleb picks up where he left off. The question is, how can he follow up that 269? Sometimes it's tough to follow a really big game with another one. He might need one here. But watch this. That was out to about 7. And it just flattened the pins. All right, Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez. And look at how deep he's playing on the lanes. He's almost having to walk around the ball return on the right lane because he is throwing it over the 5th arrow and out to about 7. Lordy, lordy. He is covering some boards. This guy started bowling at the age of 3. His first league was when he was 6. Crunch. Another solid strike for Pedro. Look at it again. Look how far up on the approach he starts. He's
about 2 feet in front of the 12-foot dots. But he generates plenty of speed and certainly plenty of power. All right, nothing but strikes from these two so far. Caleb needs another one to keep pace. Oh, man, he knew as soon as he let it go, that one was off into Never Never Land. And he leaves the 310. The right-hander's baby split. A little easier for a left-hander. We saw Leila Gonzalez shoot it on episode 199 earlier this month. That's how you make it. Oh, but Caleb gets a little too much of the 3-pin, and that is an unforced error. And all of a sudden, he finds himself 22 pins behind in this match early on. And I'm telling you, Pedro is not a player you want to give a big head start to. There you go. That's more like what Caleb had in mind. Now, Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez said that his interest in bowling got piqued when he was a young kid, and his dad would take his older cousin to bowling tournaments. She would bowl in the tournament, so he's not the first tournament bowler in the family, and he would just tag along. And you can tell he's got a pretty advanced game. He's already in college, but because of where his birthday falls on the calendar, he's still eligible to bowl youth tournaments, at least this one more season. You see at the bottom of the swing, the ball not just under his head, but a little left of it. That's perfect. He actually is playing right around the 5th arrow. Look at how he brought that thing back. And it hit like a truck. Get the license number. Oh, well, that's about all he could possibly leave coming from that angle. That ball just tears through the pins, no deflection. And he chops the 5 right off the 9. That's how you leave the stone 9. Oh, and that's how you miss the stone 9. Did not see that coming. Wow. Okay, then. Caleb, he lets you right back in it. With a strike up in the 3rd, Caleb can cut the lead to just 9 pins and find himself within a mark. Talk about a gift. How about that? And now he can take the lead with the next strike. This sport has a way of surprising you, doesn't it? That's a beautiful shot there. But this is the most important ball he's thrown so far today. This one to pull back out ahead. Man, that's another good one, too. He gave it all he had. he liked that one as soon as it was off his hand, I guarantee you. All right. Pedro, who wants to be a software engineer. Boy, he's really got that ball under control. Bringing it back like it's a yo-yo on a string. Watch this thing. Over the fifth arrow, swings that thing all the way out to about 4. And 10-pin, you were actually thinking about standing up. Pedro had different plans for you. And I'll tell you what, that one came back, but then it looked like it just stopped. And usually when that happens, you leave a 10-pin or maybe a pocket 7-10 or something. But watch this ball. It starts to hook back, and then it just kind of flattens out. And big deflection through the pins, but it didn't matter. He just sawed out the 10-pin with the 6, no problem. And this match is going back and forth. Right now, Pedro with a 9-pin advantage. And Caleb can't quite take the lead back as the 7-pin stops him. And he trails by 10. Caleb Conroe actually commentates on several sports at his high school. Might have to recruit him to come in here and sit in with me on Prodigy one of these days. We could use some younger voices and some fresh perspective. The first time Caleb went bowling, he says his dad took him to the bowling alley. And he says, I fell in love with it. It shows. Another soft 7, as all of a sudden Caleb having a hard time getting the ball to face up and drive through the pins the way he'd like. All right, let's take care of the single pin spare. We don't want any funny business here. All right. Well, Pedro has been on Team Puerto Rico, their national youth team, since 2022. So he has bowled for his country all over the world. That's very cool. Comes in light, scatters him. Caden White will get to do that for the USA, as he was invited to join Team USA following his junior gold victory this past summer. And of course, Prodigy fans know of Annalise O'Brien. She's been on Team USA, Youth Team USA, for a number of years now. All right, Pedro with a chance to extend his lead. And he plants another one right in the hole. Man, he is a strong player. Here's his footwork. Tiny little steps. He only uses about 9 or 10 feet of the approach. But the pins don't know that. All right, Caleb down by 31 entering the 8th frame. It's go time. There you go. That's what he's looking for. Here's a side-by-side comparison of these two players. You can see what a short approach Pedro has compared to Caleb. We sync them up at the release. Big loft by Pedro. Caleb with a little more ball speed, but both players getting good results. Now Caleb's got his back to the wall now, trailing by 31 pins. Cuts it to 21 with that strike. I tell you, you throw enough of those, he might be able to get there, but I tell you what, Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez doesn't look like he's about to give this match away, does he? Really good shot by Caleb here. And boy, he needed one. All right, Pedro up in the ninth. Uh-oh. What a time for a pocket 710. I expect to see steam coming out of Pedro's ears in a second. Dylan Pollard left one of these earlier. They're covering so many boards, the ball is just using up its energy before it gets to the pocket. Got to hit one hard and hope it bounces out. Well, they don't bounce out all that often. But that open frame all of a sudden tightens this match. And Pedro's lead is now just 7 pins. Caleb has a double working. Advantage Caleb Conroe now. The best Pedro can do is 233. He's going to take a re-rack. And I don't blame him. Look at that 3-pin. It's sitting a little off spot to the left. And it looks like the head pin is sitting a little off spot to the right. You get that combination going. And when you hit the pocket, the 3-pin hits the 6 at a different kind of angle, sends the 6 around the 10 instead of into the 10. Well, let's see if that re-rack helped him any. No, that's what he was hoping to avoid. The ringing 10. So now the best he can do is 223. All right, he covers the spare. Caleb is going to need the first strike in the 10th. And good count. Assuming Pedro gets good count here. I'm sure he will. Well, he gets 8. That's good enough. 221. Caleb's going to need the first strike in the 10th. And then he can put it away with good count. But he must have the first strike. If he doesn't strike on this ball, Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez is our champion. So it all comes down to one pressure shot. Can you deliver in the clutch? Must have this one. And he saves his best shot for the one that mattered the most. Wow. He just shredded the rack on that one. Watch this. Ball's going to hit about the half pocket, but the 5-pin and just about everything else just headed straight for the 10. And you can hear the Lee Summit Bowling Mafia going crazy in the background. Caleb can win the tournament with 8 on this ball.
See you later. Watch it here and listen for that mob in the background. He's got some fans in the stands. I think I hear Josiah Starr in there. Possible 236. It's a 233 finish. That's good enough to defeat Pedro Diaz-Gonzalez 221. And we will get Caleb Conroe to sign the coveted trophy pin next. Surprisingly, less than a quarter of you watching Prodigy right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Did you know that by not subscribing, you keep us from growing the channel? Take a moment right now and smash that subscribe button. Ring the notification bell so you'll receive a notification whenever we post a new video. That way, you won't miss anything. Leave a comment down below. We just ask that you not post any spoilers. You know, comments that give away the ending. This kind of engagement, viewers hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving comments, goes a long way toward getting YouTube's algorithm to serve up our videos to more like-minded viewers like you. Oh, and be sure to share the video with everyone you know on your social media feeds. Send the link to your friends, especially your bowling friends. And tell the folks at your local bowling center to play Prodigy in the center or in the pro shop. Most folks in the bowling business enjoy Prodigy once they've seen it, but if they don't know about it, they won't watch. Help us grow Prodigy by spreading the word about the show. And thanks to you for being a loyal viewer of Prodigy Bowlers Tour. Boy, you talk about a match that took some twists and turns. Pedro threw 7 strikes in the first 8 frames. He led the whole way, including by 31 pins heading into the 9th frame. But then a pocket 7-10 in the 9th suddenly put the match on an entirely different track. When Pedro posted his final score of 221, Caleb needed a strike and good count, and he threw his best shot of the day to slam the door shut. So it's Caleb Conroe who snatches victory from the jaws of defeat in a thrilling end to an exciting championship round. Unfortunately, a technical problem with the sound we captured during our interview of the winner rendered the video unusable. But Caleb did add his name to the coveted trophy pin and is now eligible to bowl in the season-ending Prodigy TOC. More about that as the date draws nearer. So congratulations to Caleb. And as I mentioned during the show, the players to our right were the Division III finalists. Here's how their stepladder played out. In the opening match, the 4-seed, Noah Frex, defeated the 5-seed, Hunter Bradley, 213 to 170. Then in match 2, Noah Frex edged the number 3 qualifier, Cameron Watson, 213 to 203. In the third match, Noah Frex took another close match, this time over the 2-seed, Andrew Scott, 171 to 164. And in the championship match, tournament leader Alina Miller stopped Noah Frex's march to the top, 181 to 159, to take the Division III crown. So congratulations to Alina Miller, the granddaughter of KCO chairman Lee Miller. I know he's a proud grandpa. On our last show, episode 199, you saw Caleb Standridge capture the Division II title. And we told you about how Mason Meyer won the championship in Division IV. and how the Division 5 title was won by little Kendall Cochran in a battle of the littles. So here's the final lineup of winners at the November KCO here in Lawrence. In Division 5, Kendall Cochran. In Division 4, Mason Meyer. In Division 3, Alina Miller. In Division 2, Caleb Standridge. And our Division 1 winner today on Prodigy was Caleb Conroe. The next stop on Prodigy Bowlers Tour is Olathe Lanes East in Olathe, Kansas, where we'll be for the 2025 KCO December Adult Youth Doubles Tournament. We'll bring you the finals in Divisions 4 and 1. The defending champions in Division 4 are Johnny Futrell and his dad, Jay. They're already entered and in the field again this year. And the defending champions in Division 1 are Colton Swift and his adult brother, Dylan. They can't defend since Colton has aged out of youth bowling. But the team they beat in the championship match, Rhett Ryman and his adult partner, Wes Edwards, are expected to be bowling again, and they won this event 3 years ago, so you know their sights are set on another victory. If you'd like to bowl in an upcoming Kansas City Open, visit their website at www.kansascityopen.com to get all the information you need, including rules and entry forms. So, until we meet again in Olathe, this is Coach Randy thanking you for watching and reminding you to stay behind the foul line and keep kicking out the corner pins, not the foul lights and ball returns. I'll talk to you next time on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. In the meantime, go get your bowl on.